The Gina and Maddie podcast.
Really excited to speak to our next guest. She's a former professional cricketer and Ironwoman. Kath Koschel has faced unimaginable hurdles. In her 20s, she broke her back and was told she may never walk again. Shortly after that, she lost her partner. Then, while she was piecing her life back together, she was hit by a four-wheel drive and then had to learn to walk a second time. Isn't that incredible? Kath's resilience helped her not only overcome these challenges, but she saw the good in the world as well. And in 2015, Kath founded the Kindess Factory. It's a not-for-profit organisation. It's now based across 3 countries.
Wow.
Has inspired over 7.5 million acts of kindness. Its curriculum teaches the power of kindness to children at more than 3,500 schools across Australia and has been downloaded over 60,000 times globally. Wow. Earlier in the month, she was awarded New South Wales Australian of the Year, and she joins us on the line this morning. Good morning, Kath.
G'day, guys. How's it going?
Really good, mate. Congratulations.
Yes, well done.
Thank you.
I know you don't do it
very
for the awards, but it must be nice that the Kindness Factory is, getting recognised for all of its amazing things.
Yeah, you got to put away your own awkward insecurities and stuff like that. And it's just nice that kindness is being seen for the strength that it is. So I'm stoked for that.
Kath, I love how you've obviously, as Maddie just mentioned, you've been through so much in your life and you just decided to look for the good. How did you do that in such hard times? Like, how do you dig yourself out of that hole and go, you know what, there's good stuff out there?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it kept showing up. So I'll never forget the first time after I broke my back, and I'd just been told by a pretty big team of medical experts I'd never walk again. And I was pretty defeated, as you can imagine. And I sort of wheeled myself out. I was in a wheelchair at the time and wheeled myself out of their office, and I went down the corridor and tried to find the elevator. And I got there and I couldn't actually reach the button. It was like centimetres out of reach. And it was that kind of really sobering moment after an injury like that where you go, geez, it's going to be the rest of my life. I'm going to battle like this forever. And I was pretty crushed and put my head in my hands crying, and a stranger walked past, saw the struggle, and he didn't interrupt or anything like that. He just pressed the button for me and I didn't even realise he'd done it. And off he walked into the distance, and I just heard the ping of the elevator and looked up and realised he'd done that for me and didn't want any thanks, praise, recognition like most people wouldn't. And as I got myself into the elevator and got downstairs and, into the privacy of my own room, the tears that were in my eyes upstairs had sort of vanished. It was something within that act that he did for me that just made me feel a little bit better. And it kind of felt like if he believed in me, I needed to believe in myself again. So I awkwardly got myself out of the chair, looked at myself in the mirror and just said, you're going to walk again. And I did. And the story keeps going, as you guys alluded to earlier. There was more adversity to strike. But whenever I was able to reflect back from a better place after enduring all that adversity, there was one thing that always stood out, and it was the power of human kindness, what one person can do for another simply just because they can. And I kept thinking, well, if this has saved my life, imagine what it could do for society. Like if it was able to pull me out of the depths of struggle, what could it do just for everyday people? Could it boost our esteem and all that kind of stuff? And then I got really into the science and the psychology of it all. And there's a reason we feel good when we're kind. It's because it releases chemicals in our brain to make us feel that way. And I just think we need to get amongst it more. So that's sort of how it all began. I was, with any adversity comes goodness as well. We just need to look for the good sometimes. And then celebrate it. So this is just a beautiful expression of that. I never intended for it to have this kind of impact, but I'm stoked that it has, yeah.
Kath, can I ask you, so that was the first time that you are told that you weren't going to be able to walk again. It happened again to you a second time, and you had to learn to walk again a second time. Was that, this might sound ridiculous, was it easier the second time around because you knew what you were in for mentally and emotionally, or did it affect you harder the second time?
A bit of both. So I guess they were very different injuries. The first one, I broke my back playing cricket, and the second time I was liming a bike and got hit by a drunk driver. So it was a near fatal injury, the second one. So I had a lot of internal injuries as well as then, limb deficiencies and spinal cord injuries, etc. So but you're right. A lot of people would say, you've done this once before, you can do it again. And emotionally, I was just like, you know what, I have done it once before, but I'm bloody tired.
You're cooked.
I don't know if I got it in me to do it again. And also the first time you're sort of fledgling. So you're like, okay, this is really tough, but I'm going to get through it. The second time you're sort of going, oh God, I remember this period and it was bloody hard. I don't know if I got it in me again to do it. So there's good and bad with each experience, obviously. And the second one, it was expedited. I actually taught myself how to walk again the second time a lot quicker than the first. So I guess physically probably a little bit easier because I was in known territory, but emotionally a bit trickier for sure.
Were you angry? At the time?
I don't know if this is a good story to tell or not. I remember I wasn't angry at the man. My dad and I, in the court process of it all, ended up giving him a lift home because he couldn't get home. And that wasn't about forgiveness. It was more, I didn't want the experience to change who I was. Like, just because he'd harmed me didn't mean I needed to change my values and not give him a lift home and stuff like that. But no, I the one thing I got kind of angry with is I was in a coma, so it was a pretty big and significant accident. And I remember waking up from that going, how have I come this close to, seeing the lights? And I still don't know what the meaning of life is. I'm a bit of a deep thinker, so that's the thing I was angry with most. But I've since learnt a lot more about myself and so forth. But no, I think I think life happens as it does, and I guess it all really comes down to choice. So how we choose to respond to those adversities is really what makes us. And for me, I knew it was never intentional. It didn't, set out that morning drunk behind the wheel saying, I'm going to absolutely change the course of someone's life today. He made a very big accident and very big mistake in choosing to drink and drive, but he didn't intentionally harm me. So I had to sort of keep that front of mind, and he's very sorry and all those sorts of things as well.
It's incredible mindset.
Incredible.
Our guest this morning is Kath Koschel. She's the New South Wales Australian of the Year. I know Jay's got a bunch of questions for you. I just thought I'd share with you as well, because I can hear it in your voice, the kind of person that you are, and that's why you've started the Kindess Factory. My wife was hit by a drunk driver, and the car accident, she smashed her back, and she's got rods and plates in the back of her back, and she had to learn to walk again. And not once was she angry at the person that did it. And I could hear a similarity in you and her. And I just knew, for some reason, I knew that was going to be the answer, Kath, because you're just an incredible person to be able to do what you've done with the Kindess Factory, and then also what you've done with your life is just amazing. So thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, and big love to your wife as well.
Oh, Kath, I just love you already. We've just met, but you sound like the most beautiful human. I absolutely love the acts of kindness. Well, you set out to do 1 million acts of kindness, and Maddie said earlier, so far you've 7 million acts of kindness have been registered on your not-for-profit organisation. Can you tell us, like, if people are listening in the car or at home right now, what is some little simple act of kindness they could do for somebody today?
Oh, God, hold the door for someone. Thank you, barista. Smile at a stranger. We've had lots of lives saved through storytelling of people smiling at a stranger that's led to a conversation and then led to something much deeper and saved people's lives. So it's really, really simple stuff, like pressing the elevator button for someone that really gives you those bigger moments within yourself. And life is bloody hard, like it really is. Like we don't know what another person's going through. So the simple act of giving someone the gift of your time is something really fundamentally important. And given the state of the world that we're in at the moment, we're living in a loneliness epidemic. Just smile at someone. I promise you it will change their day. So really simple stuff. You can buy someone a coffee if you've got the means to do so. Not that it's for everyone. We've had 3 people donate a kidney on our platform, so that's been pretty epic as well. But start small, because I guarantee you the ripple effect of kindness, it's something that's very hard to track and measure, but I promise you it's very, very real. There's 7.5 million instances on the website that prove that. And it makes you feel good as well as the receiver as well.
I know it's almost sometimes the joy that you feel when you're kind. It's almost selfish because you know you're going to do something and it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make them feel good as well.
Absolutely. I think that's why we need to do more of it, isn't it? It's so simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Kath, we really appreciate your time this morning and sharing your story. And if someone's listening to this, maybe you would love your school to get around the Kindess Factory. Chat to the teachers, chat to the P&C, chat to the principal. It's kindnessfactory.com. Send the website in. Kath, we really appreciate your time. And again, congratulations on your award as New South Wales Australian of the Year.
Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
The Gina and Maddie Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.